Hello, everyone. Our today's topic is very interesting. Today, we are going to cover fashion terminology. Fashion terminology, I would like to say one thing like a huge part of keeping up with thriving industry is knowing the jargon. It's important to be able to talk about or to understand the concept, term, and references used in the industry. It's a very vocabulary, as we all know, that vocabulary adds a very special place in one's personality. Even while facing interviews, you might be asked those terms, terminologies, either in a direct way or else in a indirect way. And being a fashion design student or else a profession, it's a first need to make yourself aware about the terminology, right? So without wasting the time, I would like to share my screen with you all uh, on fashion terminology. I hope my screen is visible to all of you. See, as I have mentioned it earlier, that it is very important while giving interviews. There are a lot of questions are being asked if you are referred to the previous year question papers, and even in the written exams, there are a lot of terms which is hidden into your question paper, which you are not aware that what it is. It's going to be asked. So today's session is all about the terminology. So, first thing is fashion. First term, we always heard about the fashion. What is fashion according to you? Like, in my opinion, it is a self expression of wearing a clothing or it could be accessories or anything. A fashion is the prevailing type of clothing that is favored by a large segment of people, like, and it could be influenced by any mood, like it could be influenced by social media, it could be influenced by politics, economics, any kind of a media. So fashion is about your self expression or what a mass is preferring, that is come under the fashion. What is a style? See, there is always a conflict between a style, fashion, and a trend. So, style is one's expression. Like, for example, here I would like to focus more on a style. Like, for example, if I am wearing a shirt right now, some people want to prefer shirt with folded sleeves, like I have done it. Some people prefer to button up their sleeves, so that this folded and that one, the button one, is the style of that person. But the thing is that fashion is the garment is shirt, but how a person, how an individual is wearing that garment, that is a style, right? Which can create, which can help, or which can create a distinct feature for the overall appearance. Like some people prefer wearing shirt always with the trouser, that is their style. Some people prefer wearing shirt always with jeans or a denim, that is their style of wearing the same thing. So I hope style is clear to you all. Now, come to the next term, that is fashion trends. Now, what is trend? We always heard this term many times, like it is in a trend, it is not in a trend. So, what do you understand by this term trend? So, trend is a kind of a direction in which fashion is moving, like the most people are adopting, that becomes a trend, right? The movement, it trend is always have a movement. Trend is always have influencers, so that thing comes in the trend. Trend includes all these things, fashions, accessories, everything. Means the acceptance of that particular design into the market comes under the trend. High fashion. It is again one term which you should know in the detail. High fashion generally accepted by the designers or accepted, it is created by a designer and accepted by a very limited group of peoples. Maybe they are the fashion leaders or the elite crowd, you can say that. So that comes under the high fashion. It includes a lot of fashion innovations. It includes the entertainment industry, like you have might be you have seen when you're seeing any pictures into the Cannes festival, so you can observe that sometimes people or the celebrities wear a very unique dresses which we can't afford, which we can't think, and at that moment we realize what are they wearing. We don't know, it's out of the box thing. So that also comes under to the high fashion, means it is a fashion which is particularly designed by a limited group of a people and by a very recognized designers or very designers. Okay, now come to the next term, mass fashion. So mass fashion, or we can call it as a volume fashion, it refers to those style which is widely accepted by a very large number of a group, and even the price is also a very low. It always the quantity is in very large, but it has a moderate price. That comes under to the mass fashion. Fad, another term, fad. Fad, again, it is a fashion that suddenly sweeps into popularity and it disappears very quickly. Like, zoom, zoom. It came and it disappeared. Like, you can say that when it comes to your no, neon colors, so it came with very much of acceptance, and but it disappears very quickly. Like, fad is also referred to, it's not only about the fashion, talking about the clothing, it also includes your accessories. Now you might be wondering what is accessories. I'll give in my next slide, I'll tell you about it. Now the next term is Ford. Ford is a fashion item that sells in great quantity and is widely copied at a variety of prices. Okay, it is also known as runner. Like for example, if I like a design by a designer, but we can't afford that much of price, so there are some companies or there are some local designer who can copy it into a, and they compromise onto the variety, they compromise onto the quality. Like instead of using silk, they can use any other fabric like satin fabric or any other, and they are making a lot of copy. It is basically a copied one, but the selling thing is very high. The sell is really very high. Now, come to the next term, that is accessories. So, accessories basically it is a set of components which accompany all the items of wearing apparel to complete to the total fashion look. Like for examples, hats, it could be a shoe, it could be your sunglasses, it could be your scarves, it could be your handbags, your nail paint, your makeups. All these comes under the category of accessories apart from your garment, apart from your clothing. Or you can, on the another note, you can also say that all these things which includes your jewelry, hats, cap, belts, footwear, makeup, they give you a very complete impressions, or they'll make your look complete. It comes under the accessory. Classic, again a very important term, might be you have heard this term many times. Like it is a classic piece, it is a classic design, it is a very classic art. So what does that mean, classic? Classic is a term which we generally used to satisfy a basic need or remain in general fashion acceptance for an extended period of time. Or in a very short note, I can say that classic, that is a fashion or a trend which never fades out, which always remains same and always appreciated by the time. Like for example, your if I'm talking about the clothing, example could be your silk sari, it's evergreen, which we are also called in our local language evergreen fashion, or a classic which never fades out. And if like your running shoes which never fades out, whatever it is, so something is comes under to the classic category, or the styles or design. Now, again, the next term is couture. See, in fashion terminology, To know the terminology or to know the vocabulary is more important, but apart from this, pronunciation is also very important. Couture is a French word which is always used to design apparels like created by the designers or the items manufactured in the designing house that comes under the couture. It's basically the exceptionally fine swing and tailoring onto the expensive fabric, or we can call in our local term the tailor made, the handmade garments come under to the couture category. And the pronunciation of this couture is couture. It's not couture, it is couture. I would like to say one more thing to you all, that except from the vocabulary, you need to more focus onto the pronunciation. In my another video, I would definitely take a session onto the pronunciation. Now come to the next point, that is haute couture. Term is called pronounces haute couture. Haute means high, high end. Couture again we have discussed in the previous slide, that is a tailoring or the craftsmanship of a apparel. So haute couture basically it refers to the most high-end fashion or clothing industry, which is created by the largest fashion houses, oftenly introduced and displayed at high-profile fashion shows. So that comes under to the haute couture. Even the craftsmanship, even the you can call the quality of the fabric, even the quality of the stitching, each and everything are the fine of the finest thing, right? And there is a difference. One question mostly asked in your entrance exam or in your physical interview, or maybe it could be in your mind, that what is the difference in the couture and the haute couture? So, couture is the art of dressmaking, right? And haute couture is the fashion created by the art of dressmaking. I hope it is clear. I repeat, couture is the art of dressmaking, and haute couture is the fashion created by the art of dressmaking. Means haute couture we are only for the high end fashion, or you can call it a luxury fashion, which normal people can't be afford. Like Chanel, like Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton, right now these days, they have also opened up ready to wear pret-a-porter. So now these days, even a middle class people can also afford. But the earlier, it was not a cup of a middle class people. It was always for a high end luxury or for a luxury client or the elite client. Now, it also has a, like I have already said you, it has a connotation of being the highest quality, or you can say that it is chosen by the best quality, and it always be a handmade by the finest craftsmen of the world. Now, these are the term again, some terms: prêt-à-porter or ready to wear. Prêt-à-porter. Prêt-à-porter again, it is a French term which is only describe, or under this terms, the apparels are designed, marketed, and sold in a standardized sizes for the mass production. They are not completely a tailor-made. Means in this we don't need to do any kind of alteration or something. You can say that it is a mass production, or in India we also called it a ready to wear, ready made, all these things. In UK they are also called it worn of track, or means these are the apparels which don't need any tailoring work, which don't need any fittings, which don't need any hemming, or something which is not personalized. That comes under to the pret-a-porter. Knockoff. Knockoff is a term which means exactly copied from the most expensive item. And you can say that it is manufactured onto a low price component. Even they have to compromise onto the quality as well as onto the craftsmanship. Like for example, Reebok and Reebok. There is only a very short, very less difference. But yeah, when you purchase two different brands, Reebok and Reebok. Reebok is the copied one, or you can say that a pirated one, which you can easily get into the market. You will get two or three things into the market: the first copy, second copy, and the third copy. And it's not only for the apparel; it could be into the accessories. Like if I am talking about the watches, if I'm talking about the shoe or sports linens, everything you can get. Now, another important things are the fashion stores and places. Like most of you don't know that what are the difference between in this in these stores and places. Like for example, atelier couture. It is a room or a specified design or space designed only for the craftsmen and the designer. In that room, the craftsmen are sitting with their craftsmen, the designers are sitting with their craftsmen, and they'll work on to their latest design. So that comes under the atelier de couture. Okay. The next term is boutiques. Yes, we all have heard, but very few of us actually know the meaning of boutique. It is a very small shop or a big shop. It is a shop in which you can get a variety of merchandising, which can include your dress, which can include your jewelry, footwears, antiques, any art and craft. So that all these comes under to the category of boutique. But now these days in India, there is a confusion, like what I have also seen along with my students, that students think that a tailor is opening their shop, and if the shop is a little bit good in their interior, they call it a boutique. But actually there is a difference into the tailor shop and a boutique. Boutiques also need designers just to make their merchandise, as well as they need to accessorize all these things like your like jewelry, accessories, antiques, art and craft, your table linen, home linen, all these things. So that comes under to the boutiques. Now the third one is specialty stores or exclusively brands outlet. Specialty stores are the stores which usually retail that offers a specific brand. They are not dealing in too many brands. They have only limited stocks, and they have only focused to one, to selling only particular brand or only particular type of a item. For example, like you can say that Apple exclusive showroom, right? Or Aptronics. You can only find the things which is related with the Apple. But if you go to the Chroma, that is again a multi-brand outlet, which is the next one. The so in Chroma, you will get all the things. You will get all the brand. But in Aptronics, you will get only related to the Apple. Okay. Okay. I hope you are able to connect all these terms. So thank you so much for this video. Thank you so much for this present. Thank you so much. I hope it is clear to you all. If you have any doubt regarding the terminology, you can please ask me, and just keep practicing on the vocabulary. Just keep practicing onto your pronunciation, because it adds a lot of thing to your personality. And always be in touch, and just try to use all these terminology when you are talking about to any person, and if you are facing any interview, just always use these terms instead of using a local terms. It will help you to crack the interview. Thank you so much.